part of the purpose of these tours is to find out directly from the community in terms of what the needs are. Our approach has been, as a funder, we fund what folks say need to be funded because we feel like they are the best people to tell us, instead of us sitting in a room and decide, oh, we're going to do capacity building. That sounds good, so we'll do capacity building. Oh, we're going to do youth leadership development because that sounds good. We're going to do youth leadership development. While all those things are great, part of what we've been encouraging, even ourselves and our colleagues, even in the region, is to really let the resources be driven by what people say are their most critical needs. Some of the pieces that we haven't talked about, the Gulf Coast Fund has been collecting information and gathering information and trying to bullet point as best as we could in terms of what are some of the most critical needs in the area. Some things that have not come out today that I'm just going to briefly speak about is there's a major communication messaging need. That how right now the way the BP oil drill disaster is being framed is coming from BP, and you better be clear, they've got some major PR firms and cleanup firms that are working on.
And at least one governor.
And at least one governor.
You know, hey, and throw into that. Hold up, throw into that mix those parachuters, those 1 or 2 issue parachuters that can make hay out of this, but who give no more of a damn about the translation needs in the local Vietnamese community than BP.
Right.
So you know, on the left and the right, let's get it straight.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. So one, and that was another piece that I want to raise. The first piece, one of the pieces does have to do with messaging and communication, and how do we communicate it in the community outside of the region, how it's being communicated right now. All of that messaging is coming from BP, so there's some help and assistance that's needed in terms of helping with messaging and communication. The second thing, which piggybacks off what Derek just raised, that there are large allies and other large NGOs that have been on the climate change front and environmental groups that have expertise and they have some in terms of messaging and resources, but we want to make sure that the communities in this area aren't exploited in that process as well, that as those messages and as we connect what's happening in the oil drill, that we recognize that the oil drill disaster has a face to it, and that there's some messaging that's coming and a voice to it, and there's some messaging and some information that can come directly from the community. So we have seen there have been meetings where people will fly in that are naturally should be our allies that never ever speak to the community. So we want to make sure that we're also sending a message, and there's a need for those larger institutions that are outside the region are actually connecting so that there's a consistency in the messages.